We will now call to order the December 10th meeting of the regular meeting, actually. Let's show it is 6:03, and we'll call to order the December 10th meeting of the Durant City Council. I'm going to ask, and I think he's in here. James, are you in here? James Dalton? We're doing things just a little bit different tonight, so we're going to ask James if he will lead us in the flag salute. If everyone will please stand.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we do the roll call, we'd like to welcome everyone here tonight and hope that you enjoy our program we have, and we're looking forward to having this program. So would the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Morris.
Here.
Councilmember Shear.
Here.
Councilmember Tomlinson. Vice Mayor Brittingham.
Here.
Mayor Groby.
Here, let the record show we're all here. We have a quorum. And at this time, we're going to ask all of us up here if we'll go down and sit on the front seat so we can enjoy the program we're about to have. We're very honored tonight to have the Choctaw District 9 princesses. And the first one is the senior, Miss Haley Gibson, right here. Then we have junior Miss Kenzie Nelson, right here. We do have one who was ill and unable to be here tonight, and we're very honored to have you. And these girls are going to do sign language of the Lord's Prayer. So we will now turn the program over to you.
Pinky Abba is binilima Chiho Chifot Holy Topa Chinyak nit minti Nana Isha Nikanyak Nipan Yomahi Himagnitak Ispipita Ahikapin Kashofi Ahikakilin Kashofi Anuk Palika Ispilawelina Nanok Polo Pifako Fichi Chema Pelichika Istayati Holy Torah Antiski.
Thank you so much. I'd like to say how wonderful this was. This was very moving. Thank you so much, girls. And why don't you tell them your name?
Halito, Soho Chifoyet Haley Gibson. Hello, my name is Haley Gibson.
Halito, Saho Chifawat Kinsey Wilson. Hello, good evening. My name is Kinsey Wilson.
Thank you so much. Aren't they lovely? This was wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't really have my agenda, but I think Cindy has something going on. Don't. I forgot to bring the pens down. I have a pen to give them before they leave. Don't let me forget, please. that didn't put us in the Christmas spirit, nothing will. And all the great singers, some of us could make it to Hollywood. At this time, we have a special presentation, and I'm going to ask our fire chief, Roger Jones. Roger, would you come up and make this, please? If our recipient's here.
He is,
And
yes.
we'd like to ask all of the council members, you city manager.
Dustin, would you come up? Bring Tammy with you.
City attorney.
Did she? Well, this is a an award for 25 years. It's from the Oklahoma Municipal League, and recognizing Dustin for 25 years of service. Dustin is a battalion chief and has been for several years. He has a crew of 11 guys that he responds with every third day. He acts as an incident commander on scene, and he's the one making most of the decisions all day long. So we appreciate Dustin, and we appreciate his many years of service, and he has been a great firefighter. He's a great leader in the organization, and he has a lot of great qualities that a leader should have, and I think his guys respect him very much, and I do also. But Dustin, congratulations on 25 years.
He does. Okay. Thank you all. We're heading back up now. We'll move to item number 2, which is consent items on our agenda. And the consent items, as you all know, are items that can be accepted in their entirety, or we can pull out any that we may want to. Does anyone wish to take out any consent items, or do we have a motion or discussion about accepting them as they are? Any others? Do we have a motion that we accept consent items less item D to be pulled out? Do we have a recommendation or motion to accept the others?
I'll make a motion, we accept all the items except D.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Would the clerk please record the vote?
Councilmember Morris,
Aye.
Councilmember Shear, Councilmember Tomlinson, Vice Mayor Brittingham,
Aye.
Mayor Groby.
Aye. Motion carries. Would we, now we will go back under consent items, and we will consider the ones that are removed from consent, which was item D. Consider approval of Budget Amendment 2020-06. Ms. Ann Chan?
Or if I may, my question, I have two questions on the budget amendment, the DIA portions and the tourism fund portion. Under the DIA, is that amendment to take the action kind of that we discussed last month?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that answers that question. On the, as I read that, it says adjustment to the tourism fund approved by tourism board. What is that?
That is the one that they need more money on some of the GL account, expenditure account, and then approved by their board to do some adjustments. So we move some reserve money from the reserve fund, the reserve GL to the expenditure account. Yeah.
I guess my question is really, what are they adjusting?
Sorry? Okay,
What dollars are they adjusting, or for, I'm not sure I understand.
Okay, the one that they need to increase is the promotion. They increased 11,500, and I moved from their fund reserve to cover those expense. And another one is conference shows. They add the $12,000 on it.
Okay, so they're moving money from the
From
reserve?
the reserve, yes.
to
The
the-
prior year, they have revenue, and then we put it into the reserve. And then now they need to spend more money on this 2 GL expenditure, so I moved the reserve to the expense account.
Okay.
That's still their money.
I know, and you said two?
GL, two expenditure account. Yeah.
Okay, I think you've answered my question.
Is there any more discussion? Do we have a motion that we,
Move approval of item, the 3D, I guess,
yes,
3D.
we have a motion, a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion? John, did you? Would the clerk please record the vote?
Councilmember Morris,
Aye.
Councilmember Shear,
Aye.
Councilmember Tomlinson,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brittingham,
Aye.
Mayor Groby.
Aye, motion carries. Under the information items, which we have quite a few, if anyone has any questions on any of the information items, now's the time to speak up. Any questions on any of the information items?
Is Robbie here with the library? I see her. And Robbie, I just want to compliment you and your staff and those that were involved in that Thanksgiving feed.
I don't know if I've ever been that tired, and I taught for a really, really long time. That was a very long day, but we served a lot of people.
Well, I think
And
it was 300
all from the
plus.
community,
Yeah.
so probably 350 people.
I just wanted to compliment you guys
Well.
on that.
Thank you very much.
Any other comments? We'll move down to number 5, administration. Number A, consider approval of resolution number 2019-27, authorizing participation in the OMAG recognition program.
I can speak to that from over here, or I can move down if you want, whichever. It's your pleasure.
If we can hear you from there, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Can y'all hear her?
This resulted from the training that we had back in November when OMAG came down, and it was a 2-hour training. It's our 3rd year in the recognition program, and it's geared towards the council, but the community is invited to attend. And after we successfully complete that program, which we did, then the OMAG will give the city $10,000, which is earmarked for transparency by ordinance. So this resolution comes after the training, just to say that we are in compliance, and we do want to receive those proceeds from OMAG.
Thank you, Cindy. Is there any further discussion? Anyone have any questions?
Move approval, resolution 2019-27.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Would the clerk please record the vote?
Councilmember Morris,
Aye.
Councilmember Shear,
Aye.
Councilmember Tomlinson,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brittingham,
Aye.
Mayor Groby.
Aye, motion carries. Number B, under administration, consideration to approve resolution 2019-29 for support and match commitment necessary for the OK 911 Authority grant application to purchase and implement new or upgraded 911 computer-aided dispatch, CAD system. Ms. Becca.
Hi, good evening. In October, we submitted, along with the police department, a grant both for the CAD system, the computer-aided dispatch system, and then the GIS. And the state asked us to resubmit the CAD for various reasons. The CAD application that will be submitted in this next week, if you approve the resolution. And then GIS system, the state has made some changes in their guidelines, so they've came back and we will resubmit that in February. So the resolution that you approved in October, so 2019-25, Cindy has voided that, and so this resolution will replace, or won't even replace it. It's just a brand new resolution just specifically for the CAD system. And you'll notice in the resolution, the cost estimate that Lacey Dillingham had received for the 196. The grant request will be $156,800, and then the 20% match is will be allocated from the fire tax, and that will be $39,200.
Any questions for Ms. Becca?
Becca, I guess that match was coming from the same source? the
Originally,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Move approval of resolution 2019-29.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
Any further discussion? If not, would the clerk please record the vote?
Councilmember Morris,
Aye.
Councilmember Shear,
Aye.
Councilmember Tomlinson, Vice Mayor Brittingham,
Aye.
Mayor Groby.
Aye, motion carries. You're still here, so.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Number C, consideration to award or reject construction bids number 17031-A, determined by bid opening on Monday, December 9th, related to the Market Square improvements at 123 North First Avenue, Project 17031 CDBG C-2017-65, upon completion of all grant requirements and legal counsel approval.
Okay, that's another mouthful, isn't it?
It is.
This was a rebid for this project, and we were unable to make a determination. John, Marty Cook, and I met with the architect today, and because we cannot come with a clear bid award tonight, we are just asking that you take no action on this.
What does that do to our July 2020?
Well, the architect feels that we're going to approach it a different way. Well, we may be able to deduct some things from the bids that were received yesterday. So he's negotiating with the contractors. And then, if there's a special meeting, it would be helpful. But if not, we'll wait till that second, or the January council meeting and present this again. So,
Is it,
and it actually
is it way
now,
off? I mean, is it
Pardon?
way off? Is it way off?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir, still.
It's, yeah, significantly over budget. Unfortunately.
Is it less than the other one, the first time?
It is less than the first one.
It's still over budget.
But we're still way over. budget.
Well, just to give an example, we proposed a 120 by 40 canopy that would go basically north and south in the parking lot there, and the costs are so much higher than expected. We're probably going to only be able to do half of that. And the restroom cost is what is so expensive.
I'm sorry, what?
The restroom, there's going to be a freestanding ADA restroom to the north of the cafe building.
That's kind of what initiated originally, but
So we're working to try to get it within budget by maybe some things that the city crews can do without overloading them.
how many bids did we get?
Two, the same
Two.
two that bid the first time.
But in reality, one of them asked to be withdrawn. So they had miscalculated in their bid.
Mhm.
It would have been within budget.
I'd hold them to it. Well, I just, I know we've been working on this a long time, and
Yes, sir, we
And
sure
I-
have.
I guess my concern is that we really are in a time crunch now. I mean,
And-
is it gonna be possible to do it if we get something done in the
The,
next 30 days?
the architect believed that it was possible. The architect believed that it is possible to meet the timeline.
The one bidder that is still a possibility assures that the timeline will not be an issue for them. So, yes.
Are there, and I know we're dealing with the with a
CDBG Small
CDBG
Cities.
grant, and it's just kind of a question that came to mind. But if there are weather delays, are there considerations?
I don't think that weather will be an issue for building the restroom because it is not, it's just a 10 by 15.
Okay.
Becca, was this the one that was held up because of the
Historic, yes,
significance?
ma'am, 17 months.
Yeah. Your recommendation is no action?
Yes, ma'am.
I would just submit that I'll be ready to meet anytime we need to help expedite this process.
Thank you.
Move we take, or let's see, do it. Does that require a motion?
Okay. So
Okay,
we will
all
take
right.
no action
Thank
on
you.
this one. Thank you, Ms. Becca. Number D, consider authorization to purchase approximately 2 acres of property for the purpose of extending Larkspur Lane and directing the city manager and city attorney to take necessary action to facilitate purchase.
Madam Mayor, I'll take that one. This is more of the Larkspur Lane project. This is kind of a final piece to complete the extension of the city's obligation to build the road north on Larkspur Lane. Essentially, this would purchase for the purpose of building a street. It's an 80-foot wide strip by about 1,200 feet. It's almost exactly 2 acres of property extending north from where the existing street is. If you're familiar with that area, it would go north from the existing street to, I believe, the power line easement. There's a power line that runs kind of from the northwest to the southeast, and it would go to that power line easement. And the purchase price that has been negotiated is $40,000 for that 2-acre strip. If you've been out there, you've probably seen there's already been some construction on the roadway there. This would allow the city to take ownership and finish the project.
Counselor, what does that do for our future connection or Moore Street to the north?
It's probably a question for Marty, but the way it at least appears from kind of the way I've looked at it, that leaves a much shorter strip than from
Yeah,
the north end of that over to,
It still won't tie into Little John
Yeah.
completely, but it will make it very developable, and the next developer would likely make the final tie-in.
So it's not a negative effect on that
So it's
potential? or
absolutely
that-
a valuable
Good.
for the
Okay.
property around it.
Thank you, Marty.
Thank you, Marty.
what I would ask for the council, I've been in, it's a little bit difficult. This piece of property was at one time owned by North Star Developers, who had kind of that entire area there. They sold that property off a couple years ago. And then the person that bought the property, that presumably was going to develop the property, passed away. So we've been dealing with that person's estate, the representative of that person's estate, on negotiating this purchase price. And this is I think based on the property values in that area, this is probably a pretty good, pretty fair deal for the city. And then it will allow them to go ahead and sell the rest of that property with the street already in place, which the city already committed to do years ago.
One more question, I guess. It's in the budget, or did we expect this?
We did not expect it originally. No, it wasn't part of the original budget. We have some remaining budget in the account where we're building the road. We're going to be a little under on that because of some things we haven't done. And so we're going to have to negotiate where to get the funds from, but there'll be some of it there.
I have a question, Marty. Excuse me. Are we ever going to connect Larkspur to Little John? Is that in our plans, or are we just waiting for a developer, or what's gonna happen on that?
I always recommend the developer build the road.
Are we about 10 years overdue on that or something?
Well, we should have done that. If we made that deal 12 years ago, we should have done that 12 years ago. I think it's really behooves the developer to build the road, to take that off the city. If you guys have a mind to finish that roadway, I'd be more than happy to manage that project for you. But at the same time, it's gonna cost probably another $500,000 to do that last portion of roadway. So until such time that we have extra money, I don't think it's probably a smart idea for us to take on that task, when a developer will absolutely do it anyway,
What developer?
whichever developer buys
I
this
mean,
property.
you know, we had this discussion in the budget meeting about this $500,000 that's been sitting there for 10 years to develop
Mhm.
that road, and you know, we still don't have a road. I'm just kind of curious about that. When will we have a road?
We did build Larkspur, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, we're extending it. I had, the property, actually, a lot of this came about and was discovered when the property is actually for sale right now. And they're trying to get the legal description in a good way so that it's marketable. And the road that extends to it currently makes it more valuable. And so they do expect it to sell and develop relatively
Is it
quickly.
not like a road to nowhere now? I mean, still, we're not connected to Little John. That just seems kind of odd to me.
Yeah, not quite, you're right. There's a plat already for that next portion of land that was never finalized, but it was a preliminary plat that shows how it will connect. Because again, the owner that owned that those years ago had planned on developing all that and then ended up not doing
I
so.
guess, you know, I'm not trying to be grumpy, but any more than usual, but it seems like the road's going to just dead end out in the woods. Is that what we're going to have now?
For the moment, yes, absolutely.
I got no problem with that. That's why I'm griping.
Mhm. I wouldn't recommend doing this kind of a deal again if I was you, but we didn't make this deal 12 years ago. Me and you did not, right? So,
Somebody did.
yeah, it just wasn't me and you. I won't bring that deal to you next time, personally. At the same time, and I visited with Mr. Markham, we have some responsibility to finish our deal. We made the deal, so.
Yeah, this is just fulfilling a commitment that was made
12 years ago.
12 years
Yeah,
ago.
absolutely.
Probably several years overdue now, but this is fulfilling that deal, and then it, you know, becomes a council decision on extending the road and connecting to Little John, which there's certainly some merit to that, but there's also a developer that could financially benefit from that, you know, it's arguable they should shoulder that.
I guess my big
Burden
problem
as well.
is, you know, we've got several hundred people there. If there's an incident, Mockingbird, and where they exit, they're all stuck in their houses, you know.
You know, Mike, likely that was the thought 12 years ago, that we would take on this part of the task as an encouragement for the developer to finish that task, and then we would have a way through for fire and emergency access. That's probably why the city shouldered some of this burden that we wouldn't normally shoulder.
But we
Now,
do
what-
not have, but we do not have that access.
It's,
right
it's
now,
not gonna be completely finished until a developer comes in and helps.
which means we don't have it.
Right, right, absolutely.
I see that's a problem.
Any further discussion? Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to authorize the city manager and city attorney to take the necessary action to facilitate the 2 acres mentioned for the extension of Larkspur.
We have a-
second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, would the city clerk please record the vote?
Councilmember Morris,
Aye.
Councilmember Shear,
Aye.
Councilmember Tomlinson,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brittingham,
Aye.
Mayor Groby.
Aye. Motion carries. The next item is new business, which, oh, sorry, number 6, citizen comments. And we do have 2 citizen comments today. It looks like there's a Mr. Brad Stanley. Would you please come forward? Did I pronounce that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and would you give us your address, please?
622 South Ninth.
Okay.
We received letters about ordinance 110.055 and 110.056 for junkyards, salvage yards, for the screening of non-running vehicles. Now, the way it's worded in here, it really puts a damper on our business, because if it's a non-running vehicle out there, it's a mechanic shop that I have. That's why they bring it to me, because they're not running. Now, the way they look isn't on me. You know, if they come in there with a fender missing or a headlight busted out, it looks like a junk vehicle, but that's not on me, because I can't control what their vehicles look like. If their tags are expired and sitting in my parking lot, I have no control over somebody keeping the registration up to date on the vehicle. So basically, I got a few down there that they came in for repairs. They couldn't afford the repairs, so the vehicle's still sitting there. I've had couples sitting there for over a year now. Tags expired, vehicle just sitting there. But this here is stating that I need to put up a 8-foot fence around the property. If I was to put up a fence around the property there, it would kill my business, because you would not see the shop, you would not see the location at all. That's pretty much all I got to say about that. I don't know.
Have
if
you
we could-
visited with anybody at City Hall?
What's that, sir?
Young man, have you visited with city manager about your concerns?
No, I spoke with, I don't remember her name, in room 107.
Okay. Yeah.
And they came out to my shop and looked at the place and everything.
You said 600 block?
Yes.
Where does that put you? Past the Bayou Bridge or this side?
Before. It's, you got Shares, and then that new place that opened up, another one of them marijuana places, and then my shop.
Okay.
They're on the east side of 9th.
I apologize. I don't think we're really supposed to, or required to comment, but I would suggest and recommend that you visit with the city manager about your concerns.
All right.
Thank you very much. The next person we have is Mr. Wally Tucker, is that correct?
That's correct.
And I believe would you give us your address?
It's 205 South 9 here in Durant, used car lot. I've been a used car dealer for 43 years in the city of Durant. since I was a young child and grew up in one. But there's been 35 letters sent out to different businesses, mainly on 9th, spread out across the city of Durant. From the Savage Yards, Record Services, and used car lots, body shops, wanting a privacy fence, 8 foot, no writing on the sign if you do put one up. But I feel like I'm regulated by the state of Oklahoma. I'm a licensed used car dealer through the state of Oklahoma. Any vehicle I have for sale, any condition, as long as I have a title, it is a vehicle for sale. People buy all types of fixer-uppers, rebuilders. The body shops, now they're required to put a privacy fence around. I was Dunningham Brothers, they've just put a 8-foot fence up, chain link. But I don't guess the city told them there needed to be a privacy fence behind Jack in the Box. Cole's Record Service in Durant, they've been here a long time, people. There's no privacy fence, but it does meet state requirements. So I'm sort of up in the air about why 35 people got letters that's in business. But the 3 new dealerships in Durant, Red River Ford, Hoyt, and Sturdiville, they have an open service department. They don't have a privacy fence. We just had permits for Red River Ford to remodel. Wasn't that long ago, Hoyt built. Evidently this was a rule in the early 90s, the ladies told me, and it wasn't enforced then. Okay, and I understand the Savage Yards, because that is a Lady Bird Johnson accident of the 1940s. And I understand the Savage Yards, that's been around. It's not our city ordinance, that's pretty much a federal ordinance, you know, through the states from Lady Bird Johnson. And anyhow, I just think it needs more investigation before they start sending out fines or having people's cars towed out of their driveways or their shops, their body shops, you know, because it's taking more than 72 hours to repair their cars. I'm not just talking for me, it's for everyone. It's in this auto repair business in the city of Durant. You know, so anyhow, I just feel like it needs more investigation. Okay, and that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Is there any new business? If not, do we have a motion for adjournment out of the regular council meeting?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn the
Second.
regular meeting.
We have a motion, we have a second. Cindy, could you please call the roll?
Councilmember Morris,
Aye.
Councilmember Shear,
Aye.
Councilmember Tomlinson,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brittingham,
Aye.
Mayor Groby.
Aye. We are adjourned out of the regular Durant City Council meeting. We will now call to order. It is 6. Can't see the clock. That's
47.
6:47. And the December 10th, 2019 Durant City Utilities Department or Authority is now in session. And could we please have the roll call?
Trustee Morris,
Aye, or here.
Trustee Shear,
Here.
Trustee Tomlinson, Vice Chairman Brittingham,
Here.
Chairman Groby.
Here, we have a quorum. First order of business, consent items. There are 2 items. Does anyone wish to discuss or pull either of those items out of consent items? If not, do we hear a motion that we accept item number 1, consent items?
Move we approve the consent docket.
We have a second.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? If not, would the secretary please record the vote?
Trustee Morris,
Aye.
Trustee Shear,
Aye.
Trustee Tomlinson, Vice Chairman Brittingham,
Aye.
Chairman Groby.
Aye, motion carries. Under information items, does anyone wish to discuss any of the information items or have any questions? If not, we're number 4, administration. Nothing's there, so adjournment. Do we have a motion? We adjourn out of the utility authority.
I move we adjourn.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Would the secretary please record the vote?
Trustee Morris,
Aye.
Trustee Shear,
Aye.
Trustee Tomlinson,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Brittingham,
Aye.
Chairman Groby.
Aye. We are now adjourned out of the utility authority. I guess I'll hit this thing. We're now in session. We call to order the Durant Airport Authority. Let the record show that it is I guess 6:49. 6:49, and the December 10th, 2019 meeting of the Durant Airport Authority is now in session. Would the secretary please call the vote? Call the roll.
Trustee Morris,
Here.
Trustee Shear,
Here.
Trustee Tomlinson, Vice Chairman Brittingham,
Here.
Chairman Groby.
Here, we have a quorum. We're all here today. The first order of business, number 1, consent items. Do we have any discussion, or anyone want to pull any of either of the 2 consent items out for discussion? If not, do we have a motion that we accept under 2, or can we accept the consent items?
I'll make the motion. We accept.
Have a motion? Second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any discussion? Would the secretary please record the vote?
Trustee Morris,
Aye.
Trustee Shear,
Aye.
Trustee Tomlinson,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Brittingham,
Aye.
Chairman Groby.
Aye. Motion carries. Under information, we have the airport manager's report. If anyone has any questions, speak now. If not,
How we coming out there?
Almost there, about January 10th. We're expecting to finish.
Would that like maybe be the day even that it's totally open again, or as far as, okay,
It is still a projection based on weather and
yeah.
how much my paint goes down, how well it goes down.
Thank you.
any other questions on information items? We have no more citizen comments on non-agenda items. We have nothing under administration. Any new business? On behalf of the City Council, I would like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, and hope you all eat lots of turkey, lots of ham, and enjoy the holiday. With that, do we have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Would the clerk please record the vote?
Trustee Morris,
Aye.
Trustee Shear,
Aye.
Trustee Tomlinson,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Brittingham,
Aye.
Chairman Groby.
Aye. We are adjourned.
Just about, I think, might be.